All right, let's get into the topic of the day. I was talking to a friend of mine, a female friend, and she was going through some things and said that, she was dating a guy. And she had told me when she first originally met the guy, that it was cool. He was taking her out. He was, doing little things to make her feel like he cared. He was remembering dates and just doing little stuff that made her feel like she was floating on cloud nine. Right? I remember when she told me all this. And then a couple days ago, I asked about him, and she promptly said he changed. And she asked me, why do men change? And it got me to thinking, why do men change? It's a lot of reasons that could go into that. It's a lot of different answers to that particular question. But I'm going to try to answer it from the perspective that I can answer it from, for what I know to be the truth, from what I've been through. And I look at it like this. We as men, we didn't really change. And that's the God to honest truth. We didn't change. What we did was got infected. Infected with the thought of new. See, new comes in and it changes your whole thought process. It infects your DNA, your soul, your mind, your rhythm, your skin. It infects everything, because the thought of new drives us absolutely insane. So I look at it like an infection. Because what does an infection do? An infection changes who you are. And that's what happens with new. New is an infection that changes who we are. So you see us when we're in that infected stage where we've changed. Cause let's examine an infection. An infection sometimes give you fever, it give you chills, it give you shakes, it give you body pains, and it makes you just want to lay down sometimes because you're tired. It gives you fatigue. And all of those things are not who you are. Those are things that you become as a direct effect of the infection. So that's what new is. New is a direct effect of the infection. Cause new will make you do things that you would normally never do, because the infection is setting in. And when the infection gets to the point where you can feel that new is finna totally infect you, it'll start making you, call her all times of night just to say one or two things to her like you miss her. New will make you remember when her breaks are, just to call to tell her that, hey, I was just thinking about you. You thinking about me? New will make you remember when her lunchtime is, to make you bring her up some food. Hey, I remember you like Indian food. I'm gonna drop you off some at work. New will make you say, hey, look, this new movie is coming out. You wanna go to this new movie? New will make you, when she says something she's never done, I'll make you go research it and then say, hey, you wanna do this? Wow, I've never done that. I know you said you never done it. New puts us in a whole new, mind, body, and soul state. Because the more the new shows promise, the more we're infected. And the worse your infection get, the more it changes you, right? All right. So now that we've established that the person is infected, and at this particular point, when they're infected with the new, they're introducing you to what you women call the representative. So the whole time when you're being introduced to the representative, what is truly happening is the man is infected. So from the first time that he gets whiff of the new, he starts to become infected. From the time you start to show him that everything that he's doing is working on you, oh man, he's really becoming infected. And then there's that moment from when you guys lay together. That is the first moment he starts to get a cure. He starts to get inoculated from the infection. The more you lay with him and the more he sleeps with you, you're increasing the dosage of the medicine, which eventually, once the dosage get high enough, you're going to cure the infection. And once the infection is totally cured, you have what we call that man changed. See, he never really changed. All you did was cured him from the infection. But here's the thing, ladies. Infections have a weird way of working. They tend to spread. Now, in the process of him being infected, what he's done is he's spread the infection to you. And in the process of him spreading the infection to you, he had a mild form of it. But because y'all women are taught to love and nurture and take care of us and love us no matter what, when he infected you, it became severe and spread rapidly to the point where you made him become your world. You know, the infection got it where you so delirious with fever, and we're going to use fever as love. You so delirious with fever that all you want is for him to be by your side and for him to love you. Because that's what women do. A good woman tends to love hard and love well. But we can't see it. See, because when we were affected, everybody starts to think about their own mortality when they think that they're sick, when they think that they're going to die. Everybody start talking all crazy. That's just like when guys go to jail, everybody start talking about how they're going to change their life, and they'll say, whatever, as long as you get me out. Behind the bars, they talking all good. When you're infected, and when you think that you're at the beginning of something and you love somebody, that's when you do right, you talk good. But guess what? You came along and you gave him all the medicine. You cured him. And now what has happened was you say he changed. What he did was become right. And now you're looking at it as if, oh, he's not coming home. He's not doing the little sweet things he once was. Now you find a number, or you find somebody texting him and you say, oh, wow, this he once was infected. Now he's not infected no more. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. The problem is he's got reinfected. It's just with a different strain now. The strain of infection you saw him in, his body's become immune to that particular strain, and that strain is you. So now that he's immune to that particular strain, you're bumping your head up against the wall, wondering why things ain't the same, why it don't work no more, it just don't feel right. And then so now you find out that a new person has infected him, right? So now with the new person, the first thing a woman do, because this is what a woman does, she'll blame herself. She'll say, what didn't I do to make him want to stay infected? What didn't I do to make him want to be here and love me better? Love me right. And then after she get through blaming herself, instead of going to the person she should blame, she skips right over him and go right to the other person that has infected him, giving him the new strain. And she'll say stuff like, why is this woman messing up my happy home? But women, if you really think about it, by the time his infection had healed and he got infected by another person, and you say stuff like, why is she breaking up our happy home? Really, be honest with yourself. When was the last time you were actually happy in that home? A lot of people like to say, oh, they breaking up. She breaking up your home record. She breaking up our happy home. This woman couldn't have infected that man unless he was around being exposed to the infection. You get what I'm saying? So now it gets to the point where, okay, you still love him. You're still infected. But what has happened is, now the woman is starting to feel that, oh, this infection is becoming to the point where it's driving her crazy, where women start contemplating all type of things. But right before she hit her breaking point, when she feels she can't take it anymore, she meets somebody that infects her. And when he infects her, the infection feels twice as good as when she was infected by you. Because she hasn't had it in so long that it feels doubly good. Now the infection is to the point where he's showing her attention, it feels twice as good as the attention you showed her. Now he's he's listening to her talk, care about her dreams, and it seems like he's twice the listener that you are. Now they're making rendezvous and meeting in places that you never did take her to. And when she take her out to a restaurant, it seems twice as better as the restaurants you took her to. So what happens is, she still is infected by you. Just a little bit, but not as much. But once he started infecting her, it comes in and it helps. She's not cured, but what it does is it replaces one infection with another infection. And then once you see that, she starts to look at you different, right? She starts to act different, treat you different. Because as men, the one thing we don't ever tend to pay attention to or look at is when you first meet a woman and you haven't done her wrong, you haven't lied to her, you haven't cheated on her, you giving her no reason to be no way but good to you. You look in her eyes and you see burning this lustful, bright fire. Then we lie to her, throw a little water on her, put it out a little bit more. Then we cheat on her, put a little bit more water on it. Now the fire is gone, but it's smoldering. You can still see smoke. And if we took the time once we saw the fire was gone to see smoke and tried to work on it and build that fire back up so it can burn again, we might could have saved the fire. We might could have rectified the situation, reconciled and saved something here. Even though we saw the flame was burning out, even though we saw it, we knew it, we saw nothing but smolder and nothing but smoke coming from it. We lie and cheat again, and then bam, we throw the final bucket of water on it. And then we put the fire out completely. And there's nothing but ashes. No, it's not even smoldering anymore. It's not even smoke anymore. It's nothing but ashes there. And let me talk to the people who smoked a cigarette before, who smoked a cigar before. If you're smoking a cigar and you smoke a cigarette and you make a mistake and drop it into the ashtray, right? And you pick it back up, you clean it off, but because you already got moisture on it from your mouth, you make a mistake and drop it into the ashes. But no matter how much you clean it off, and then you put it back in your mouth, you still taste the ashes. Anybody who's ever done that know that ashes taste bitter. I'm talking about extremely bitter, to where you trying to spit them out your mouth because they bitter. Does it make sense to you now? That beautiful, bold, lustful fire you saw burning, that you kept on lying and cheating and throwing water on till it was smoldering, now it's down to ash. And I just told you, ash tastes bitter. What have you done to the woman? Yeah, you made her bitter. So now she's looking at you different. Now she's not looking at you the same. She's looking at you all bitter now. Now, fellas, I'm directly talking to you now. Now that she's all bitter. Now, to anybody who will listen, to our friends, to our family, to our co-worker, what's the first thing we say when we turn a woman bitter? Oh, now she crazy. We tell anybody who listens she crazy now. But nobody don't understand, you know what I'm saying? Us men, I ain't gonna say nobody, us men don't understand that we made her crazy. We'll tell anybody who listens that she crazy. See, to regular people, crazy still has the regular definition of crazy. But let me explain to you something. To a man who has done wrong, to a man who has lied and cheated to a woman, we say crazy, but it don't mean crazy in the traditional sense. To a man who has lied and has cheated and who has done a woman wrong over and over and repeatedly, crazy means that she's finally woke up and won't take this shit anymore. That's what crazy means. Crazy means that she's had enough and she's realized that my sorry ass is sorry. Okay, now put that on the back burner. Now, this is the point where you know as a man that your woman has had enough. You'll know. One day you're going to wake up, she's just going to be looking at you and she's going to realize, boy, I got a half a piece of shit man here. And you got to go. And so now you got to go. Once again, you're telling everybody, hey man, why she made you leave? Man, that girl crazy. You see what I'm saying? We quick to say crazy, but we don't understand that we contributed to crazy. You helped form crazy. And crazy really not crazy. crazy is just another way of saying that she wised up, she got fed up with myself. You understand what I'm saying? Because look at it like this. That's just like, this is what us men do. It's like we get in a car, right? And you just going 100 miles an hour and just running over stuff. You don't care. You're going 100 miles an hour. It's like somebody tell us, stop, get out the car and look back behind you, right? And this is what we've done over our lifetime. When you get older and you actually get out the car from going 100 miles an hour, you stop, you look back behind you, you realize that you have so much collateral damage back there. You have told so many lies, have cheated so much, have left so many broken hearts, have played so many games. And when you look back at your life, you'll see them all. You'll probably see your first love, probably see your first baby mama, probably see some girls you don't even recognize anymore. You don't realize what you've done. You don't realize the collateral damage that you have done to the women. And I'm not male bashing or anything like that. I'm just saying when it comes to men, it's two things that we lack that give us the ability to truly love and love right. The first thing is we lack selflessness. See, women have it because they can love their kids and love their man and give themselves totally of the situation. They can, feed the men before they eat, feed the kids before they eat, because women are just God-given nurturers like that. Us men, we only become selfless when we reach a certain point in our life. And usually that certain point coincides with you getting older. And the second thing that we lack as men is empathy. See, we'll have it for complete strangers. We'll have it for people we don't even know, co-workers and people who just don't matter in your life. But when it comes to the people we love, we don't have it, because we'll put them right at the top of the list of the people we'll hurt first. So if we just had those two things, we will be better as people, as men, and as lovers. So ladies, my thing to you is the men didn't change. It's just that new drives us crazy. New for some reason will make us jump out the window without knowing what the hell is on the ground to catch us, all in the attempt to get new. Because what's tried and true and good to us ain't what floats our boat. So many men have thrown away their life, thrown away their families, have broken relationship with kids, all over new. How about we change it up, fellas? How about we make new new at home? And here's the thing. A lot of men complain about the women are different these days, right? The reason women are different are because we played games and BS for so long that we forgot that we were dealing with living, breathing human organisms. And God made every organism on this earth gave them the ability to evolve and adapt. And that's all the women have done, fellas. They have evolved and they have adapted. See, they have learned to do us how we've done them. Plain and simple. So when you wonder why the women got to be the way they are, we created it, fellas. We created a culture where we forced them to evolve. We forced them to adapt. So don't get mad saying there are no good women out there. They still out there. They've just adapted and evolved. So I'm gonna leave that right there. And I'm going to just say that the men don't change. They were always that same particular way. So a lot of times, because y'all women are just so want to be loved and sometimes so lonely and just can't see what needs to be seen. It's there sometimes, but y'all just don't want to see it. Or the beginning of this feels so new because in your mind you think there's no baggage there. He's not like your baby daddy. He's not like your ex-husband. Right now it feels so good to be free and not to worry about baby mama drama and all that type of stuff. It's only there because he's not let you in far enough for you to see all those same things exist. And I'm not saying there's not no good men out there, and I'm not saying there's not no good women out there. But what I am saying is, don't it seem like it's really hard for the two to connect? Don't it really seem hard for the good woman to find a good man? For the good man to find a good woman? Don't it seem like no matter how much you say you're going to change your dating criteria, you always end up with the same old type of person? So if you believe that God don't have a sense of humor, I'm telling you, now's the time to start believing, because it's amazing. So I'm going to leave it right there, because I know I'm going to get a lot of email about this particular subject, but I just wanted to try to shed a little light on what's really going on. Try to put it in a different perspective. And I don't know how it's going to come across. I don't know if some of y'all going to get it and some of y'all not going to get it, but I just know it had to be put out there. And once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Random Select. You can find us on Twitter at Random Select, and that's with select with 2 T's. You can also leave us an email at randomselect@gmail.com. That's also select with 2 T's. And I definitely want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you guys for listening to me ramble. But hopefully I can shed a little light, a little perspective on why men change, So until next time, people, I want to thank you for tuning in. Have a great time. This is Mario, and the Select is out.
You have been listening to Random Select. Thank you. Goodbye.